Maybe break down, ResQ as a marketplace and maybe some unique aspects of it as a SaaS-enabled marketplace?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, our evolution to become a SaaS-enabled marketplace didn't happen overnight. It took us some time to get there and many, many iterations to get there. Early days when we started, in order to really test the problem out and see, how do customers react? How do we get our service partners, who is essentially our supply side of our business, to get out there? What are the key problems we're solving for them? Before even building a product, we literally just started going door to door to restaurants and started handing them a 1-800 phone number and telling them if something breaks, give this number a call and we'll find a service partner for you. Just to really understand what are the key challenges. Are they willing to pay for something like this? Can we actually get service partners out there? Can we drive new growth to them? Before product, before anything, so it was kind of like our hack or our, cheap way to like discover and learn about the problem. And that took off. In the first few months, we had many restaurants signed up, essentially calling this 1-800 phone number, which we still have, by the way, if anything broke, and we would go and sort of scramble our way through finding, service partners or contractors per se, and getting this delivered. Then we started sort of learning from that experience and said, okay, our first product is going to be a mobile first product, because our customer base at the time, we had some multiple unit operators, but mainly kind of in the longer tail of independent groups, which anything on their phone and, the ability to quickly put in a work order, something is broken, and get someone out there. That was the key product. And what we would essentially do is take a small revenue share from our service partners, our supply side, to be able to drive sort of net new growth to them, and just purely concentrated at the time only in Toronto, which was our backyard and where we started the company. We sort of like kept pushing that and kept, continuing to learn from the customers, continuing to build the right sort of mobile first product. And a few sort of years later, COVID hit us early in 2020, and our sort of the world changed overnight. I still remember March 16, 2020, which in Canada, they had shut down the entire sort of country, and every single restaurant was forced to shut down. We were growing and scaling fast, but we saw a massive decline because restaurants were shut down and they were not set up for delivery, or they were not operational. So what we essentially had to do was quickly understand what is the customer base that is going to come live the fastest, who are ready to be equipped with delivery and sort of like other sort of drive-throughs and delivery and walk-ins, and what's the right product for them. So after testing that, talking to many, many folks, we realized that we were going to go into very, very early on in COVID, we realized we were going to go upstream into sort of multi-unit operators, where a single group owns, anywhere from 5, but could be up to hundreds of restaurants within the same umbrella. It could be a large franchisee, or it could be independent group. And the problems that they have, even though repair and maintenance key problem is slightly different, it's not just about the core experience at the ground level to deliver a service that's cheaper, better, faster. It's also data, insights, workflows, approvals, thresholds, accounting integrations, and all sorts of interesting things that a big company, a big franchisee group of KFC, for example, that owns hundreds of restaurants require, because they operate very different from a single unit operator. A single unit operator is the owner using the product, getting someone out, getting the repair done. At a group that owns hundreds of restaurants, you got field teams reporting to area managers, reporting to regional managers, reporting to COOs, and just like an entire structure. And that requires a different sort of workflow to begin with. So very, very early on, I believe it was back in April, when we discovered this QSR vertical, the multi-unit vertical, and the core sort of value proposition we can provide them, we started building product very, very quickly and released it into the market. I believe it was only 30 or 45 days out from the start of COVID. And that took off. We changed our pricing model around it. We essentially went from purely a B2B mobile first transaction marketplace to a SaaS-enabled, still B2B, of course, because you've got restaurants on one side and you've got service partners who are also businesses on the other side, but a SaaS-enabled marketplaces where the core product offering became essentially a piece of product software that allowed them to do everything from workflows to data to insights to approvals, thresholds, to all the stuff that I said. And in the background, still the core marketplace was providing the value where anyone on the ground could submit a job, request a repair that needed to be done, and we would essentially build localized supply to get the supply out there as soon as possible. And that all tied together into this great looking software, which created a tremendous amount of value for big groups. So now, and we've seen tremendous growth on that product now that we've repositioned the company, all in the back of learning from earlier on in COVID. Great amount of growth, launched new markets, which I'm happy to talk about. But essentially, we didn't, our vision around it was we were a mobile first transactional marketplace. And in many ways, COVID forced us to sort of get out of our comfort zone and look at new opportunities and new sort of ICP or ideal customer profile. And that has been tremendously successful for us.